I'm going through abandoned buildings, walking through alleyways.
Hey family, and welcome back to another episode on our true crime series. Today we'll be talking about 23-year-old Tijae Baker, an inspiring artist who went missing May 4th.
Tijae Baker, she was a 23-year-old aspiring artist from Brooklyn, New York. As of right now, she has not been found. What we do know is she went missing on May 1st. She was an aspiring artist. She was an art major in college. She was a senior. She had one semester left in college. And her mother, Taquana Baker, is out on the streets as we speaking. She's actively looking for her daughter. She went missing on May 1st is what we know. She accepted a job over the internet. She met some lady over the internet in Washington, D.C., and she accepted a job to design posters for her. Now the job was supposed to be for like 1 week, maybe a weekend. It's not very clear. They just said it should have took her a week or a weekend to do this job, and she should have been back home. She is described as very loving, hardworking. I mean, her Instagram showed her beautiful artwork. She was great at what she did. Her mom said she had just done a pop-up shop, and she was very successful. I mean, it was a very successful event. But her mom said she met some lady online. The lady has been identified, but her name and things like that hasn't been put out. She agreed to accept the job in Washington, D.C., designing posters for this lady.
Rally, I'm going right back out there because I'm going to find my daughter.
The nightmare began on May 1st. Tijae took the bus to D.C., supposedly to do some posters for a woman she had met online. Then the nightmare of silence.
Where's my daughter? She got off at the Capitol Union Station, D.C.
The desperate family filed numerous police reports but complained the first official flyer put their missing person on a wanted poster.
What do you want? Justice! When do you want it? Now!
Now, Tijae was last seen alive leaving her Brooklyn home. She's from Brooklyn, New York on May 1st. Her mom said she took a train. I'm seeing other reports that say she took a bus. So I'm not really sure her transportation, the way she got there, it was train or a bus. But her mom said as soon as she made it to Washington, D.C. at the Union Station, she got off the train at the Union Station, and at that point, her phone cut off, which is not normal.
Definitely
weird. She went missing for a whole month. She's still missing. Her mom last talked to her, I'm thinking, when she was telling her about the job and things like that. Now, when she arrived in D.C., no one knows what happened at that point. Like, her mom said her phone shut off from the Union Station, and I'm sure she's getting that information from the phone company. They saying at that point when she arrived there, she shut off. So what we're thinking is the person that she was communicating with over the internet basically lured her in, met her at this Union Station, and at that point took control. We don't know exactly what happened, but it's weird that she make it to this Union Station and her phone shuts off and it's not trackable at this point and things like that. This all happened on May 1st, the last day she was seen in Brooklyn, New York, leaving her home and arriving in D.C. That was the last known location her phone was tracked at, was this Union Station where she got off the train at. So we do know she made it. Well, at that point, she pretty much just vanished. No one heard from her, nothing like that. Her mom tried calling her for a couple days straight, couldn't get her on the phone, which was unlike her. And so her mom, Taquana Baker, filed a missing persons report with the New York Police Department. They put out missing posters. Well, you know what? It was weird because the first flyers that they put out, the New York Police Department, it was a wanted poster. So they made a mistake, and it was a wanted poster, but it should have been a missing person poster.
The desperate family filed numerous police reports but complained the first official flyer put their missing person on a wanted poster.
They did get that fixed, and they was actively looking for her. On May 1st was the last day she was known alive. So on June 1st, which was actually, what is that? Was actually 13 days ago, 12 days ago, because today the 13th. So they received a phone call from Taquana Baker. her grandmother took the call, and it was weird.
From Tijae.
From Tijae, yeah. Her grandmother took the phone call from Tijae, which is weird because she went missing on May 1st. Her phone cut off. No communications were had, but they received a weird phone call from Tijae. And it was described that she was whispering. She sounded very scared. And she begged her grandmother to tell her mom to come get her right now. Yeah. And that's giving me chills because it's like she's clearly being held against her will.
Right.
We don't know who was behind it, but she's being held against her will wherever she is. So she wouldn't have went missing for a whole month. Her mom, Taquana, has put that on the news. It was a rally held in New York, and her mom said she's going right back to DC to look for her daughter because she's gonna find her. She wouldn't have went missing for a month. That's not what Tijae do. Her mom said she always kept in contact with her. She stayed with her mom and her grandma, so they would be talking to her. She went missing for a whole month, and then they received a phone call from her saying, please, begging, can you please come get me? I'm big. Like, she was scared. That's all she said, and then the phone call ended. Now, her mom and her grandmother loaded the car, and they drove straight to D.C. Yeah. But unfortunately, when they made it to D.C., she was nowhere to be found. Now, they is taking leads. They have got a lot of leads, and some of them has been promising leads. They have, they actually was able to track down the nail salon where she was at when she made the phone call, and they actually was able to get camera footage of her. She was pacing around the salon on the phone. She looked very scared, and she was on the phone. They don't know who she was on the phone with, but they're putting two and two together, and they basically thinking at that point is when she made that phone call home to say, come get us. Now, they made their way to the nail salon, but she was nowhere to be found. Right. The video show her walking back and forth, pacing back and forth. She looked nervous, and she just suddenly exited the front door.
Right.
It has been confirmed that was Tijae Baker, but at this point, they haven't received another phone call. It hasn't been reported if she called from her cell phone or someone else's phone. That information has not been put out, but they was able to track down the lady that she was communicating with over the internet, who she accepted the job with to make the posters, and she has denied reports that she actually arrived to her.
Yeah. So, she said she didn't even arrive to her.
Right. So, I mean, it sounds like her mom described it sounds like her daughter has been lured into a human trafficking scheme
or a cult.
Mm-hmm. That's her biggest thing right now. She feels like that is what has taken place. Whoever she was communicating with over the internet, they had ill will from the jump. Right. She never accepted a legit job. Whoever it was took her from that bus station or that train station. That's where it started at, and is not sure if the lady who she accepted the job with had anything to do with it. We're not here to convict anyone.
Right.
We're here to try to get Tijae Baker home safe.
Definitely.
Her mom is in D.C. I mean, I'm sure as we speak, because she says she has been searching alleyways, abandoned buildings. She's determined, and she says she's going to bring her home safe. As of right now, we do know that Tijae Baker is alive, because she went missing for a month, and she was able to make a phone call home. So we're not going to even think about nothing else. The main thing now is to get her home safe.
Yes,
so
definitely.
I mean, it's a big thing right now. It's not getting as much press as it should be, but it is getting press in New York.
On a missing persons bill, they don't register black people as quickly as they do white people. So when a white person's missing, the whole world stops. When black people are missing, she'll be calling back because she might be out partying.
As of right now, we're searching for a missing person. If you have any information, the number should be on the screen at this point. Yeah. Call the New York Police Department. Give solid leads.
And let's bring Tijae home. That is our main focus.
Her mother, Taquana Baker, she's on the internet. She's on the news platforms. She's doing all she can to bring her home. This girl was we're talking about an extremely talented artist,
Right.
who was in her last semester of college.
Definitely.
It was her last year, but she's in her last semester. Like, she's months away from graduating and chasing her dream.
Right.
We talking about someone who's 23-year-old, who haven't started her life yet, and actually thinking she's accepting a legit job,
Right.
to go out to DC, and an opportunity pretty much, and it wasn't that by a long shot.
Yeah.
So if you have any information, please call the New York Police Department. Let's try and get her home safe. And I mean, be aware who you talking to on the internet. It's never
Definitely.
safe taking an internet job and going somewhere alone, let alone being a 23-year-old college student. I mean, you never know what you're walking into.
Right.
We live in a world that's not safe right now, and human trafficking is a real thing.
It's definitely being brought to the forefront. We're seeing it more and more, you know, right in our face every day. So definitely travel in groups, especially if you've never been there before, especially if you've never met the person that you're going to see before. I highly recommend you traveling in groups. Yeah, it's so sad, but we have high hopes that Tijae is still alive, and we definitely want to bring her home. So we will leave the hotline that you can call, the New York Police Department information down below, as well as her mom information down below. If you have any information, please contact them, and let's bring Tijae home. Thank you so much for rocking with us and for watching our episodes. If you have any true crime series that you want us to cover, any true crime at all, make sure you leave it down below in the comment section. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and join the family. We try to bring you guys a video or two every week over a true crime. Also hit that thumbs up button and that post notification bell so you won't miss another upload. We love you guys, and we will see you in the next one.